Hello friends, basically any character from Silicon Valley minus the intelligence here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of Dota Alchemy. And this video is going to be a little bit less formal than the other videos on our channel, and you can probably expect a few more of these at least before the Chengdu Major is over. I basically decided that I'm watching a lot of these major games, I'm watching player perspectives, and anytime I see something new and interesting, I'm just going to press record and talk a little bit about what I saw. So this game between Alliance and Vici, I would normally watch a Vici gaming perspective just because I think that this is one of the best teams on the planet. I mean, nothing against Alliance, it's a good team as well, but I saw that 33 was playing Nightstalker. This is one of my favorite heroes. I currently have it rated in the S tier of offlaners. I watched the Nightstalker perspective. I watched 33, and there was some very interesting stuff happening in the first 5 minutes in particular. And on Nightstalker, that's a very important time span in the game, because generally the way that people are counterpicking this hero is they are picking something that does extremely well against it in lane. Some hero that can either kill the Nightstalker or some hero that can farm against the Nightstalker where normally they wouldn't have totally free lane. People are picking like Naga Siren. In this particular game, Alliance is playing up against this Coddle Gyro, which, I mean, God knows if you're an offlaner, you've probably played against this duo. It's pretty potent. And the way that they play this lane was very cool. So basically, they're trying to solve this first 5 minutes problem of Nightstalker. How do we lane in the first 5 minutes where the enemy team can't just kill us and punish us for picking this extremely weak laner? So the very first thing that they do, you can see here, we have our support Mirana standing over here to the left. So this is a Mirana Nightstalker thing. You could probably do this with Alina as well, with a Rubik, any hero that can push the wave. The way that Mirana pushes the wave is she stands up here and she arrows the range creep. And then as this is happening, 33 pulls the creep wave by right-clicking Gyro, which pulls these melee creeps onto this ranged creep, and then puts these creeps onto this ranged creep, which sets up for the arrow and also allows 33 to tank a little bit of the creeps and use his nuke, so this effectively pushes the lane. You can see that there are 4 Radiant creeps and only 2 Dire creeps available. So because of this, it means that Gyro can't walk up and trade with his Coddle and try to help him deal with these 2 heroes here. And this makes it so that 33 has a better lane, because like I said, this hero typically is weak in the first 5 minutes. So if you are taking a creep advantage, and you can see the arrow happens again where the enemy team can't trade with you with one of their heroes, well then you're just going to go even in CS. You can see here Nightstalker is 6-0. So this is when the really fascinating stuff happens. I believe that Mirana walks over here to try to arrow this hard camp. I think it's blocked because most teams do block that whenever there's a Mirana on the enemy team, because you know she's just going to farm that. So 33 walks up here, and Mirana is also coming this way to help him do this. So they're playing this together. And then Gyro, because they pushed the wave, the Gyro is stuck dealing with this creep wave. So if he comes over here and tries to help the Coddle, he's screwed because he's going to lose all of these creeps. So basically, Alliance has forced this situation where it's 2v1 and the Coddle is stuck over here doing this. It's the Quelling Blade, this tree here, and then this one. And you can see that he even shift queued through. So this is something that he was doing intentionally. This is something that they've practiced. And he pulls the wave. As Gyro is farming up to the left here, they pull the wave down, let the next wave push in to the tower. Gyro kind of tries to head over, but he realizes that he needs to farm these creeps. It's really bad to try to stop this if he's going to lose entire creep waves. It's not worth it. So the way that 33 pulls the creeps is through here, and you can see Mirana is just bullying the Coddle over here. They're just kind of, 1v1ing, and that's really important. I think your support needs to be dealing with the other support, otherwise the Coddle will just chase here. And because of this, we now have one equilibrium here and another equilibrium. I mean, it would be here, but Paparazzi is just like, man, what do I do? What am I supposed to do here? So because of this, in a lane that should be heavily favored towards the Gyrocopter and Coddle, now 33 is going even, and he's getting denies when this lane shouldn't be getting denies, and these guys are only farming half of their creep waves. So this is really good because it obviously gets him last hits, and then it gets him denies and pulls the next wave into the tower. So this is a bit of an extension of the pull of the second wave that people do, where they pull all along this way and pull to here. But this is kind of like the natural evolution of it, where instead of sacrificing waves in order to get the second wave, it's more so you play the lane normally, except you push the lane and then you cut here and you play together with the support, and then you do this drag, and you don't need to drag it all the way over here. So it's a more efficient way of the kind of second wave dragging that people do. So this is pretty goddamn nice. I was very stoked to see this, and I really wanted to play a Night Stalker game after this, because really this is the only time where people punish you. It feels like if you can get past this moment, you can see that it happens again because the gyro pulls the creeps towards this area now. He goes and he cuts the wave. Mirana over here zoning the coddle, also preventing this pull from happening. So this is it's very important to have some communication between your support and your core whenever you're doing this. Rocket comes through. Now the gyro is contesting, so Mirana goes and pokes him, and they just pull the wave together. And once again, we have this equilibrium here, and then this shit happening here, and what are you supposed to do as a gyro? Not much. I mean, you're expecting to be in a lane where you're just kind of dumping on people and using the coddle and spamming your spells and getting kills, but it's not going to happen if you just perpetually keep doing this. Mirana over here, I think he was trying to go for an arrow mid, and he tries to go to little trees that he cut. He's even cutting more trees to make it easier, so that slowly these trees are all just dissipating. Mirana pulls here. They pull the equilibrium right in front of the tower, kind of dragging aggro back into the tower, and now it's nighttime. So it's at this moment where 33 has a completely free game, right? Because he's a Night Stalker and he isn't shut down. Let's say you queue with a 3-roll and a 4-roll and a party queue, and you do this every single game. You will not lose unless there is some ridiculous extraneous stuff that happens. Somebody on your team is feeding, or the game goes really horribly. You are essentially guaranteed to have a good lane up to 5 minutes as long as you repeat this strategy, and then after 5 minutes you are a Night Stalker who hasn't been shut down, which is, as I mentioned, a very beastly hero that absolutely everybody is playing in the safe lane right now, because the safe lane is free in the first 5 minutes. But you don't need to play in the safe lane for the first 5 minutes if you do this. So you can essentially have a carry hero in the off lane as long as you are employing this strategy. And I found that very fascinating. I expected something like this from 33. This guy is a Night Stalker expert, so he did not disappoint with his idea on how to play this hero in the current patch, because I'm sure he has dealt with Nagas and Slarks and these counters that people are constantly picking to it in pubs, and this is essentially his response to that. This is how he gets a good first 5 minutes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video.